What's going on there, everyone? I don't know if y'all can remember this little case that happened. It happened so quickly. It went by. But yeah, remember there was a horrendous person named Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, well, it's back in the news. Let's get straight into it. Jeffrey Epstein's autopsy more consistent with homicidal strangulation than suicide, Dr. Michael Baden reveals. This is something that probably 80% of the whole world's population already figured, already thought. I'm not real big into conspiracy theories, but if there is a conspiracy of any type, this case is a straight conspiracy. No matter how you look at it, whether he was murdered, the people from this angle will say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. If you say he wasn't murdered or whatever, then people on this angle are going to say, this is the craziest thing. I mean, we all watched it unfold as it was happening, and it was just mind-blowing, the narrative that they tried to feed us. Like I said, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but I don't even know how to, I don't know how to say anything about this, because, yeah. The body of disgraced money man and sex offender. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to even see this video, to be honest. The language that is in this is hated by YouTube, so let me know if anybody even sees this, because it may just get deleted. The body of disgraced money man and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who was found dead in his Manhattan federal prison cell in August, bore telltale signs of homicide despite an official ruling that he killed himself. A pioneering forensic pathologist revealed to Fox and Friends in an exclusive interview Wednesday. The bombshell claimed by Dr. Michael Baden, a former New York City medical examiner who has worked on high-profile cases during a 5-decade medical career, is certain to reignite suspicions that surfaced immediately after Epstein, who was awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges involving underage girls, was discovered dead in his cell on August 10th. Baden, who was hired by Epstein's brother and observed the autopsy, told Fox News its findings are more consistent with homicidal strangulation than suicidal hanging. He noted that the 66-year-old Epstein had 2 fractures on the left and right sides of his larynx, specifically the thyroid cartilage or Adam's apple, as well as 1 fracture on the left hyoid bone above the Adam's apple. That's a whole lot of fracturing going on. You gotta think. You really gotta think about this. Jeffrey Epstein was a fairly tall fella. The beds at these prisons, if it's a single bed, see, this is another thing. We don't know. They won't really let us know all the little details. Because if it's a single bed, it's only going to be maximum maybe 2 foot off the ground. And if it's a bunk bed, well, then the top bunk will be about 3 to 5 foot off the ground. Well, more than 3. It'll be 4 to 5 foot off the ground. He was 6 foot plus. So he would have hung himself and leaned into it. That's what they claimed happened. Well, if he's leaning into it, there's not going to be the shock force to sit there and snap all these bones and destroy all this cartilage. It's just not going to happen. That would be more of an indication of a fall, like a trap door hanging, but not from leaning into it. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I'm also not a professional pathologist or anything. I've just scoured through a lot of we'll say gore websites to try to understand this stuff more. Those 3 fractures are extremely unusual in suicidal hangings and could occur much more commonly in homicidal strangulation, Baden, who is also a Fox News contributor, said. While there's not enough information to be conclusive yet, the 3 fractures were rare, said by Baden, who's probed cases involving O.J. Simpson, President John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, record producer Phil Spector, New England Patriot star Aaron Hernandez, and many others. So this guy's been on many high-profile cases. That's pretty good. I've not seen in 50 years where that occurred in a suicidal hanging case. The 85-year-old medical legend told I like how they prop him up pretty hard. Told Fox News. Baden, who's examined more than 20,000 bodies and hosted HBO's Autopsy. That's where I know that guy from. Autopsy. That's actually a fairly good show. I don't even know if it's still on, but it was an old show on HBO. It was pretty interesting in my youth. Explained that if a person weighed 120 pounds and their head weighed 10 pounds, there would be 110 pounds of pressure on the neck at the jaw during a hanging. But if someone put a hand, there we go, just typo. If someone put a hand around a person's neck and squeezed, that could double or even triple the pressure on the neck, Baden said. There are also hemorrhages in Epstein's eyes that were common in homicidal strangulation and uncommon, though not unheard of, in suicidal hangings, the forensic pathologist said. The prominent hemorrhage in the soft tissues of the neck next to the fractures is evidence of a fresh neck compression that could have caused the death, Baden said. Baden stressed his independent study was not complete. The investigation is not complete until all the information has come in, he said. Epstein was found hanging in his prison cell at a high-security metropolitan... We know that part. Prosecutors alleged that he had previously... Or that the previously convicted sex offender paid girls as young as... Yeah, we know all that. He said it was unknown to him and the Epstein family what work the feds have done and what results they might have. The ligature, or item used to tie something tightly, allegedly was made from a sheet that had been twisted and put around Epstein's neck, Baden said. Evidence of the cloth material could help prove whether or whether not someone else was involved in Epstein's death. Whoever it is would have their DNA all over the ligature, he said. We don't have those results yet, he added, saying those results should be reported quickly to give an idea and lessen the speculation. Well, one of my big arguments already is, usually I am all for A.G. Bill Burr, or Bill Barr. I say Bill Burr all the time because that's one of my favorite comedians. But Bill Barr. Bill Barr said they were going to investigate this fully and get answers to the people. Well, Barr, I like you, but you've screwed the pooch on this one. We haven't heard nothing. This is the first I've heard of this since it all went down, pretty much. What's going on? What is going on? I know y'all have 1,000 different investigations going on right now, but this was truly big. This situation had everyone speculating. Everyone, even non-political people, people that who barely even knew who Epstein was, that just knew the gist of it. Yeah, like, the whole world was like, okay, he was murdered. We need to get to the bottom of it, and nothing's happened. It went very, very quiet. All I could say is, Epstein knew a lot of very highly powerful globalist elites. Why is everyone protecting these elites? Why are they all protecting them? Because that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like from everyone I talk to about the situation. This is a bipartisan situation for real. Everyone thinks something wrong happened here. But New York City medical examiner Barbara Sampson ruled Epstein's cause of death to be a suicide by hanging. It appears that this could have been a mistake, Baden said. There's evidence here of homicide that should be investigated to see if it is or isn't homicide. Epstein previously was discovered on July 23rd, over 2 weeks before his death, on the floor of his prison cell with marks around his neck after he was placed on suicide watch. He was taken off suicide watch a week later and put in another cell with a roommate, Baden said. But the second inmate was taken out a few days after that, leaving Epstein alone in the cell, which helped to spark even more conspiracy theories. On the day Epstein was found dead, the prison security guard had experienced a total breakdown in procedure, according to Baden. It was determined that two of the guards who were supposed to be working in that area of the prison had allegedly fallen asleep and hadn't made their 30-minute rounds for more than 3 hours, he said. And there were security cameras that were supposed to be recording the cell and the hallway outside to see what went in and out. Both apparently had malfunction, according to Baden. Not according to Baden, that's according to fact. That's what the prison or the jail itself said. So, further instigating conspiracy theories. I mean, you gotta admit, at this point, something not right was involved with this situation. There were too many just too many things. Too many puzzle pieces came together and made a jacked up puzzle that just confused everyone, and we're not getting any real answers, you know? The victims of this man are getting nothing. No answers, no closure, nothing. Nothing. And that's who I really feel bad for, is the victims. Through his 5 decades of experience, Epstein's death is not straightforward, Baden said. It doesn't give you the answer, he said. It's not a typical hanging case. And I think most of us can agree with that. Most of us can definitely agree with that. It doesn't seem like a typical case. Just the sheer fact that prison protocol for a suicidal inmate was so just stomped on. They completely didn't go with protocol. That man would have been watched for a lot longer. A lot longer. Trust me, I've known people that were on suicide watch while they were in jail, and they were on suicide watch because someone else in their family, not even around them, said you might want to watch them. So they put them on suicide watch for like a mandatory month. It was crazy. I felt really bad because suicide watch sucks, apparently. I've never been on that when I was in jail. Never had to deal with that because I wasn't suicidal. Didn't care. Did the crime, did the time. It all worked out. But yeah, they don't leave you. They watch you like a hawk. I just can't believe this was allowed to happen. It doesn't make sense that this was allowed to happen. But whenever you're someone that powerful, with that much dirt on people, the damnedest things can happen. I just wish we would have got to see this guy go to prison a little bit. You know, that would have been nice. But I would also like to see who else he was going to drag into it. That would have been good to know. You know, I feel that should be public knowledge. Who was doing all these egregious acts with Epstein on his little pedophile island? All this, that, and the other. Why can't we know that? That's because it would probably drastically upset the world order in which we know it right now. But we'll find out. It seems that there are still people trying to investigate this. So let's hope that they come up with something we can all agree on. That's not just going to be some statement of, okay, let's move on. But I feel like that's what we're going to get. It's been this long and practically nothing. Practically nothing. All we've gotten in all these months is just one story popping up that goes against the mainstream narrative. It's just going to further the conspiracies. But I think this is a true conspiracy, one way or another. No matter how you look at it, it seems like this is a true conspiracy just being built right in front of us. But what can you do, man? I'd love to hear your comments on this because it really is. It's just the lack of protocol that went on around this is just mind-blowing to me. And the unprofessionalism and all that. I mean, they had a guy watching them that wasn't even a prison guard. Come on, man. This is the most high-valued inmate y'all have had in a long time, and you're just gonna let him die, let him kill himself. Come on, man. I can't believe that. But as always, like, share, and subscribe. I will catch y'all on the flip side.